This is my mom, Sharon Houseman, who was middle school age during the era of civil rights. Mom, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in eastern New York State, and then in 1967, when I was about 12, my family moved to Massachusetts.
Was racism prevalent around you as you were growing up?
It wasn't that I was aware of. I lived in rural and small town areas, and we accepted that there were a few people around that had darker skin.
Okay. What were you taught about equality between people when you were a child?
Well, to begin with, in Sunday school I was taught that God loves all the children of the world, red or yellow, black or white. And then, in school, I was taught that all people were created equal. My parents taught me that God the Creator sees the condition of our hearts, but not our skin color.
Okay. Were you raised to believe integration was good?
I heard about integration, but mostly it involved children in city schools. When black children were bused to all-white schools, things got very tense. It didn't seem like a good way to remedy inequality in education.
What do the names Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. mean to you?
Malcolm X I associated with anger and violence, and Martin Luther King Jr. with peacefulness. He was well-spoken, and they were both activists for civil rights.
Are you familiar with the Black Panthers at all?
Vaguely. I remember their closed fist symbol, and I associated them with violent behavior as well.
Okay. What did you hear about civil rights growing up?
I heard about riots and shootings and mobs, but I didn't really comprehend what was being fought for.
Were the civil rights activists just people on the news then? Or did they have actual consequence in your life?
They really were just people on the news. I did not identify with what was happening.
The Black Panthers were supporters of violent racial protests. What effects did this have on you, if any?
Well, I thought of them as bad or evil. I didn't get as far as wondering what their purpose really was. It just seemed like a lot of anger to me.
Did you or your parents keep up to speed on the speeches that Martin Luther King Jr. gave?
I'm sorry to say no. Although his I Have a Dream speech was very well known, I did understand that the way he worked to bring about change was admirable, and it did get a lot of attention.
Did the death of Martin Luther King Jr. have any real impact on you or your family at all?
Not an immediate impact, but I think that I felt a sense of grief and loss. Nonetheless, it seemed very senseless, a violent death to a man who was promoting peace and unity to people of all races.
Well, thanks for your time. Those are all the questions I have.